Greetings trainers, KuroBlitz here, welcome to another video. Today I'm here to have a laid back breakdown analysis about all of my thoughts, theories, speculations, etc for what we were revealed on Pokemon Day for the 25th anniversary of the franchise. So yeah guys, we were revealed a lot of stuff. I have tons of topics that I discussed on Monday on the Pokepod World on KG's Prestige channel. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and I will most likely also talk about this this Friday on March 5th on with the Comrades on Aleximo27's channel. So I'm also going to leave the link in the description down below. But yeah. Yeah, I have tons of topics, and I want to see if I can actually, go with all of them, because they are 32. Okay, they are 32 topics, all of them subdivided in 3. So it's like talking to the 32 people on the underground to, get Spiritomb, and the one multiplied by 3, it's the 108 pets to achieve Nirvana. That's why the number 108, the 108 in the weight and whatever, the Spiritomb, you know the thing about Spiritomb. So yeah, besides all of this plug and whatever more, so topic number 1, the jokes aside, and yeah, topic number 1 being the jokes. I actually love, that all presentation, because they showed the anime, they showed the manga. Apparently the most iconic moment of Best Wishes was not Ash meeting Zekrom or defeating Stefan in the Unova League. No. It was Iris' Emolga shocking everyone, including Bianca. So shout out to Entity Maze, because once again he revolutionized the Anti-Poke community. Speaking of Best Wishes, why the hell is Unpheasant in that cherry tree? They have no right to be near that cherry tree. Like, sorry Zach, I guess that the ones who are doing, I guess that Bandai Namco cares about Unpheasant. So about the week's episode, yeah, I actually love the whole the Pinko Floydaku, not the Kodak, with the Pink Floyd, the Duck Side of the Moon. Shout out to DJ Sock Puppet for the reference, by the way. Oh man, I'm doing a lot of references today, aren't I? But yeah, and I guess that leads to, finishing topic number 1, that's the jokes. And, before going to the actual Diamond and Pearl remakes and also the Sinnoh prequels, man, they really wasted in not calling it, because I'm now remembering, I am now remembering whatchamacallit, the Pink Floyd, Shine on You, Crazy Diamond, and Shining Diamond, and they did a Shining Pearl. But anyways, so before I actually talk the reason about the names, let's go with topic number 2, being about the new Snap. I don't have anything much to say about new Snap besides, it looks great. It's very amazing, we have the Illumina orbs. To me it feels like, a spin-off foil to the Shadow Pokemon because of, Light and Shadow and etc. Thought Snap returns, which is surprising. Thought Snap returns, and we have another rival besides that Rita girl, and the rival is named Phil. And here's the thing, there is a Phil, the photo guy in X and Y, the guy that takes you the photos in 3D cameras. So maybe this is the same Phil, maybe it's like, Phil Jr. or whatever, but it's a Phil. It's a film, I don't know, cameras, I don't know, man. Meanwhile, we have Thought Snap returning, so that's amazing. The pose and technique, they were changed the name into Direction and Angle. We now also have other Pokemon and background counting for the photography. We can share, the photography, the photos, with social media. So there's that. There's that, everyone. But yeah, Thought Snap, Thought damn Snap, and we see Celebi. What for that to be incorporated into the anime, because, well, the Pokemon Snap was in Pokemon Island with Mew, and there were the eggs of the legendary birds and also the Kanto starters. So I want, for them to actually canonize that, yeah, this is where starters come from, because now we have Mew with genetics and Celebi with nature, even though the Lental region, it's different because Lental lands, But yeah, I want for Go and Tokyo in the anime, like they can have, you know, a Snap plug because they had Thought Snap. Maybe Thought Snap can return. You know, can you imagine like the next opening? You know, we had Iris and Gary for Unova and. For Unova and Kanto, and the next one it's Silent and Thought Snap. Everyone, like it's not even Tracy, it's Thought Snap. Everyone would lose their minds. Yeah, but yeah, I'm hopeful. Because we see tons of starters. We see Pokemon from other regions like Alolan Raichu. We see various patterns of Vivillon. Sobble is not in the cover, but he will most likely, you know, be invisible. Because well, we will have to use a Pester Ball to make him become visible. It's most likely that gimmick. The Illumina orbs, you know. Scorbunny with blue flames. God damn, yeah, they really went with it, huh? But yeah, also I really want for default names of the characters, you know, the characters' default names, the boy and the girl to be Flash and Pixel, but that's just, you know, that's just me. So yeah, this ends topic 2. So let's go with topic 3. The names of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You guys should be very thankful that back in 15 years ago we didn't have Diamond and Malachite, because if we did, oh boy, am I right? Or maybe we would actually have the Shining Diamond and the Brilliant, yeah. Yeah, so I call this game BSDP because it's BS. It's BS because they really are outsourcing Masuda. They are outsourcing Masuda to the company that did Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, you know, ICLA, yeah. They also did Yakuza 0, dame oh. They also did Nier Automata and Drakengard 3. Why is the good company doing the remakes? But yeah, they really are outsourcing Masuda and saying if the remakes flop, it's because of you. So yeah, don't expect Battle Frontier, because if he didn't put it in Auras, why put it now? And Megas, well, we have merch for Megas, but we have to wait and see if those are, you know, linked with the games or they are just going to release at the same time. But yeah, why the names Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? So here's the thing. They are associated with light because Lucas and Dawn, Lucas, it's from lux, Latin for light, and Dawn because the dawn of the day, and their names in Japanese, Koki and Ikari, actually mean brightness and light. So there's that. There's also about the armor, you know, the sword and shield. They have to be brilliant, they have to be shining. They always did that, you know, like with previous games and remakes. For example, Gen 1. Gen 1, it was red and green. Fire red and leaf green, fire and leaf, they are symbols of war and peace. That's why Kyogre and Groudon in Gen 3. And they are also, you know, symbols of nature. Therefore, Groudon and Kyogre. Johto, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you know, heart, soul, you know, things that are within a human spirit. That's the whole thing about the Lake Trio of Sinnoh, and also because, you know, reading the chakras with jewels and precious, you know, stones and pebbles and whatever, that's your connection. Also, you know, they have, you know, the sounds. They have the sounds. For example, when they reveal the names of the Pokemon games, you know, they go ta 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 tring. They go by 7 sounds, and that's because of the 2 groups of 7. The Holy 7, those are the Lake Trio, the Creation Trio, and Arceus, and the other 7, you know, the remnants like Cresselia, Eatram, Regigigas, Darkrai, etc. So yeah, because Sinnoh had 14 legendaries, guys. So yeah. And also because of the bells and etc. Auras, you know, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Omega and Alpha, it's because of the letters X and Y, and Auras actually means, you know, weather in Lithuanian. So there's that. That's why, you know, Brilliant and Shining, it's most likely because of the sword and shield. And remember, and the graphics look more polished, they look more refined. Remember when you polish the badges to have the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do? So yeah, you have basically 8 badges, but you get, you know, to the final boss on the badge 7, and basically repeating the Do, therefore the 7 sounds, therefore the 7 notes, and the 7 colors of the rainbows. That's why Arceus, right? But yeah, this game aesthetically, it's a mix of Let's Go, it's a mix of Link's Awakening, it's a mix of Animal Crossing. It doesn't look as bad, but doesn't look like a remake. People are calling it a pre-make. I'm calling it a 3D port because it really is what it looks like. And that goes to topic 4. Will we have, platinum plugs? We do see the blonde girl from the blonde girl in Floroma Town that gives you the Gracidia flower for the Shaman event. But that doesn't mean mainly anything. I really hope if we see Luker, because if not, Luker will not appear in Gen 8, which is odd. Because of auras, if they actually go with the megas and new ones, will we see Xenia? Because Xenia was in the other remakes, she was introduced in the other remakes. In Sinnoh, we do have Steven's Villa in the resort area, and Steven Stonewell, the champion of Hoenn in the games of Auras. Xenia is linked with dragons and the Draconids, and the Creation Trio are all dragons. Maybe something, an alpha or platinum episode. And also with that mega merch, we have complete Zygarde. And here's the thing: in X and Y, in Terminus Cave, in Zygarde's room, we had the orbs. We had the orbs for we do have the orbs for the trio, the adamant, the lustrous, and also the Grecius orb. And well, I'm just here basically wondering if we are going to have forms for because we had the crimson and indigo orb, the red and blue for the primal. Will we have cosmic orbs? Or will we have cosmic forms? Sorry, are we going to have cosmic forms like achieving heaven? Because the Azure flute, it's the heaven flute. Are we going to have corrupted forms with Giratina, like how basically Necrozma and Kyurem absorb the others? We'll have to wait. And this brings to the other topic, and that's also the statue of Eterna. Right, the statue of Eterna, before in 2D it was meant to be ambiguous, but they fused the statue like in the manga, and now I'm wondering what will they do in regards to that. Will they basically, because space-time is on the same axis, will they do basically cosmic or corrupted forms? Will we have the Alga that controls space, therefore Distortion Diamond? Or will we have a Palkia that controls time, therefore Paradox Pearl? Maybe something like Eternal Diamond, Infinite Pearl, or maybe Eternal and Infinite are in their ability names, the new ones, or maybe something in regards to Limitless or Boundless. Again, they have infinite potential for this. But yeah, that's in regards to the statue. That's topic number 5. Topic number 6, the new world. Are we going to have fairies? Because Leafeon and Glaceon are introduced here and then. There's Sylveon, but we don't have, the Ami, the Park. No, we don't have the Ami, the Refresh, the Camp. Are we going to have Sylveon to defeat Spiritomb and Garchomp from Cynthia? We don't know. Are we going to have the Game Corner of Veilstone? It doesn't seem like it. We do see Poketches and normal bikes, so not Rotom bikes, so you will have to use HMs. You will have to use HMs. You wanted a remake, you have to go for it with all of the pain. But don't shit on my boy Bibarel. With strength, rock climb, surf and waterfall, that dude is a beast. If Paul's brother had a Bibarel, you too could have a Bibarel, okay? Post-game. For post-game, will we have the Poke Radar? We don't know, because many Pokemon, for example, in Platinum, Porygon was a gift. But he's wild somehow in Diamond and Pearl in the post game. So how will the Poke Radar work? Will it be a thing? We don't have, the GBA ports, right? We don't have the GBA ports for Fire Red and Leaf Green for the dual cartridge stuff. Will you have to buy Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or even Sword and Shield, and see the data within your console for you to have certain Pokemon like Elekid, Magby, Gligar? You wanted a remakes, so now you have to suffer. I wanted to play Diamond. I wanted to play the Diamond game, but my money this year it's saved for Snap. I don't see a reason to buy the game as of now. I have 8 months to be convinced otherwise, because when I was 10 I got Pearl, played with Chimchar. When I was 12 I got Platinum and I used Piplup. Now I'm 24 and I wanted to use, Turtwig and Diamond instead of just, random replays or randomizers or whatever, like start an adventure with Turtwig. And maybe I will, but not in this game. But yeah, that goes to the other topic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Topic 7, the mechanics. We don't have the Poketch, right? So no Rotom, no Rotom. Will Rotom have the forms, right? Because the forms are only in Platinum. Because Karen, from Team Galactic, we will have HMs. Will we have hidden abilities? Because hidden abilities were only in Generation 5, guys. Are we going to make Poffins? Because Nintendo DS, the DS meaning dual screen, are we going to make Poffins? Are we going to do the Pokemon Curry with the Joy-Con drift for Poffins? We don't know. In regards to the event Pokemon, because they always do the event Pokemon. For X and Y, we got the Mega Blaziken. For Aurus, the Mega Glalie. For Sun and Moon, we got the demo for Ash Greninja, and the actual game was the Munchlax with the Snorlax Z. For Let's Go, we got the own tempo, Rockruff to get the Dusklycan Rock, and also the Poipole to get Naganadel, the shiny one, even though we have the normal one in game. We got Melmetal for Go, for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and also the Pokeball plus Mew. And for Sword and Shield, we got the Gigantamax Meowth. So here's the thing. I really believe that we might get Manaphy, because if we do not have the Ranger 3-in-1, they will give you Manaphy. It's not the egg. It's not the Manaphy egg. It's just Manaphy. You want those Fion, you want to breed, you have the Manaphy as your event Pokemon. Which brings me to another point, and that is another subtopic. If we get the Mew in the Pokeball Plus, and knowing that Sinnoh and Johto take place in the same time, and most likely the player is seeing the news, from Red Gyarados, in Johto. If this game is being outsourced to another company that it's not Game Freak, Masuda. Can Masuda do a Let's Go Johto, Let's Go Entei or Let's Go Raikou, because Pikachu and Eevee were remakes of Yellow, so this one being of Crystal should be Let's Go Entei and Raikou. Maybe they can do another twist, or maybe and we'll have to wait, guys. We'll have to wait. But will we have another Pokeball Plus Joy-Con, a GS Ball one with Celebi to do the time travel event, and maybe if we have Johto, let's go Johto and Sinnoh remakes, you can go to the Sinju ruins. We'll have to wait, guys. We'll have to wait. Which brings me to another topic, which is number 8, the fandom. We don't have the GTS. What will the building of Jubilife be if we don't have a GTS? Because now we have Pokemon Home. What will the building be? And the ballpark will have to be another different thing. So we don't have the Pokemon Plaza because we don't have the GTS. So my idea is Jasmine is in Sinnoh. She does the super contest in Heart Home. So please, for the love of Arceus, do Wi-Fi contests unlike you did with Aurus. Do VGC for Pokemon coordinators. I gave this idea and also the Looker one to my friend Ruffle Rowlett. So yeah, do this, right? Do coordinators for VGC, use the seal capsules to your full potential, and maybe since, you know, Jubilife doesn't have the GTS, Jasmine is also a Pokeathlete, do Pokeathlons. You want for people to get the remakes, do Pokeathlons from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. If you have the Battle Frontier of Platinum being in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can have content from Heart Gold and Soul Silver to be in Diamond and Pearl, okay? Okay, so yeah, this is all I have to say about the BSDP. This is all I have to say about those BS games. Anyways, also, we have to consider something very, 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 very important, and that is the implementation of the games, okay? Because in movie 12 and 13, the Arceus and the Zoroark, we had the Heart Gold and Soul Silver stuff because of the spike-eared Pichu, and also because of Celebi and the Johto beasts. So, in I Choose You, we got, you know, Johto, we got Ho-Ho, the focus was Marshadow. The Power of Us, we got Lugia, the focus was Aura. In the Secret of the Jungle, you know, the Coco movie, we have Celebi, but the focus is on Zarud. So they will have to do movies with Sinnoh plugs, even though Sinnoh Pokemon will not be the main focus. I'm wondering, because my idea was, because they released movie Coco late than they wanted, they would have to do a 2-in-1 movie like the Victini with the dragons. And they could do Calyrex, you know, Calyrex being the Victini and each of the horses being the dragon. I'm hoping that in movie 24 and 25 we get the Mythicals 899 and 900 for us to have 900 Pokemon. Or maybe Sinnoh, you know, they can do a Twilight Wings web series, they can do a Generations web series with Sinnoh, remakes and prequels alike. They can do an Origins, you know. They can do a Origins for this, which would, you know, be very amazing. You know, a story of Lucas and how he battled God. Are you kidding me? But yeah, this brings to my next topic, that are actually the prequels. So, the prequels, in a way, are Generation 8. If they add upon new Pokemon, because we do see a Pokemon that, to me, it looks, you know, like, I'll talk about it later, but if they add new Pokemon, like they added in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, like adding Pokemon mid-generation, like how they did with the DLC, you know, the Urshifu and the Regis and all that stuff. It counts as Gen 0, story-wise, gimmick, generation-wise, it's Gen 8.5, you know. But yeah, when do these games take place? And that's where people need to understand. So this game can most likely take place in 3 eras. The first era, it's likely 50 years ago in the Showa period, so between the prior World War II and after World War II. It could go into the 1960s. Shout out my friend TSS for the reference, by the way, TSS Killer, by the way. So yeah, it could be also in the Meiji era, before World War I, when the Japanese people were in war with Russia, and some of the islands of Hokkaido were Russian territory. They even are to this current day. That's why in that little book we don't see, you know, the Russian island inspirations. They are covered in black clouds. Maybe they are the enemy. Maybe we have Team Soviet or whatever. This is not feudal Japan, guys. And maybe this can be, you know, 150 years ago, in the end of the Edo period. That was when the first Pokemon League was established in the Indigo Plateau. Maybe not in Sinnoh, but the Indigo Plateau, they had this. And if that's the case, you are playing in the year when the towers of Johto, the towers of Ecruteak, they were burned by the birds. Maybe it could be like that. But yeah, guys, this is not, we have 3 different time periods, but it's not as old as it seems, okay? It's the Industrial Revolution in Japan. They had the Industrial Revolution one century after Europe, because you know how Japan was back in the day. But yeah, it's not feudal Japan, guys. This is not feudal Japan. This is not Conquest. This is not Inuyasha. But it's before Diamond and Pearl. It's not before Platinum. It's not before the remakes. It's before the actual Diamond and Pearl games. So this is, imagine that Diamond and Pearl it's like Xenoblade 2, and this is Torna, okay? But yeah, time in Pokemon, it's very mysterious on its own, because Unova, right? Unova was 2050 years ago in the present time. That time, IRL, it was when the Romans, the Greeks, and the Egypts were ruling the world. And what does Unova does? Unova is based on the NYC, and they have European medieval stuff in America, and they have the Musketeers of France. And 500 years before that Dragon War, they had the Poke Atlantis with the Abyssal Ruins, and they also had the Plates of Arceus around those, which will be brought later. We will have, we see, we see a Pokemon that people are saying that it looks like, another evolution of Farfetch, like, with the hacks. That's like a one, like an agriculture hacks. I'm calling it monk fetch because, that's what people did back in the day. They used weapons, for monk weapons, from agriculture and stuff, like, the kunai, those things that you throw at enemies, that you see in Naruto and all the ninja stuff and shinobi stuff. Yeah, you didn't throw that. That wasn't throwable. Shurikens were throwable. That thing was to carve holes in the ground for you to plant seeds, because that's what ninjas do. Also, I love the fact that our uniforms are very ninja based. We have the sleeves are black, but the uniform is dark blue like actual ninjas. They are azure, wink wink, nudge nudge, azure flute, heaven flute. So yeah, but that Pokemon, it will be like, a wild boss. It will be like a totem, which makes sense because of the Ultra Aura, and we are in the past. Maybe we will see past Aura Guardians. And my idea is that we are going to have a Sinnoh version of the Kami Tree. The genies of Unova, Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus. This can be Sinnoh and Thundurus. Or maybe we can have beta Pokemon, because Arceus is the alpha. Maybe we can have the beta Pokemon, like that Fire Seal. We can have Gorochu as a Pokemon, finally. And the Pokemon that we will meet in this region, they will not be the same that we know from the actual story. So building the Pokédex will be completely different. And yeah, guys, that's the thing. For example, we see Spheal. Spheal, they are only found in the Poké Japan. They are only found in Hoenn, in Route 125 in the Shoal Cave. So either Spheal migrated, or like the Ainu people of Hokkaido did back in the day, they were hunted down. They were maybe some Pokemon in some regions got extinct while others thrive. That's why starters are wild, Times change, people. Times change. And speaking with times changing, we will work for a professor, but who will this professor be? So if this game, let's imagine that this game is, more modern than we think, like 50 years prior. Imagine that this game, if this game is 50 years ago, before Diamond and Pearl, the professor can be Grant Oak, the guy from Pokemon Home, Maybe we can see a baby Professor Oak or a baby Samuel Oak, because Oak was born in the 50 years before Diamond and Pearl. He's 47 in Red and Green. We can see a 10-year-old Rowan. We can see, maybe also a 10-year-old Bertha, the ground lady from the Elite Four. We can see a younger version of Cyrus's grandpa. We do have the Team Galactic stuff, the Ginga, the Gin with the silver. Like, we have maybe Team Galactic back in the day, maybe Team Galactic back in the day, they were just explorers, and the Cyrus took the emblem from one of the companies that his grandfather worked, and people joined Cyrus not for his nihilistic behavior, but for basically being nationalists of the Sinnoh region. They wanted, to make Sinnoh great again. Okay? Maybe it could be like that, because no one would follow Cyrus. He's a nihilist. Who would follow that guy who has no charisma whatsoever? Okay? Maybe you can see the younger version of Cyrus's grandpa, or maybe Cynthia's grandma. Okay? We can see, Cynthia's grandma, she's the one, Cynthia in the actual game before you deplete the Psyduck. She gives you the old charm, the old Omamori, and they go to Celestic Town. So maybe it could be Cynthia's grandma, because in the anime she's a professor, Professor Coralina. She is in the Celestic Museum, which brings me to another great point, and that is, where is the town going to be? It could be in Celestic, middle of the region, being towered by Mount Coronet. So instead of starting in the west side, you start in the east side this time around. Could be Solacian, because rural town, one way. It really could be. It's near Spiritomb. It's near it's near the Unknown, right? And the Unknown are there. The ruins are 15 centuries old, so the Unknown are there because of commerce and port and being nearby the sea. Hopefully, because they need transportation, whatever. Maybe it could be in Jubilife or Canalave, because Canalave, it's by the sea. They have the library. Maybe our research helps the library. If it's Jubilife, could make sense, because Sapporo, it's the capital of Hokkaido. That's where Jubilife is inspired. If it's not if it's not those, it should be somewhere nearby the sea. So maybe Pastoria. Oh man, how will the Great Marsh be? Oh damn. And also Sunny Shore, where Cyrus grew up. The Great Marsh and the weather conditions. Now the trainer will have an HP bar as well. You will be affected by weather as well, guys. So just letting you know on that. But yeah, this is not as old as it seems, because these Pokeballs, these are steampunk Pokeballs, okay? They are, in between the Apricot ones from Kurt from 4 to 7 centuries ago, but they are not as modern as the anime Professor Westwood did, the moderns in 1925. That the modern one being, not the modern that we know, but the one that Oak in the anime, Samuel Loke in Pokemon Forever in the late 50s, early 60s, he did the Valve Pokeball, that steam looking one, because Pokeballs now are made of not only metal but of wood as well. We have the zipper, right? But yeah, and maybe maybe that could be, why you cannot carry 6 Pokemon at a time, because maybe the weight of the Pokemon, the roster limit, it's not as compressed, or maybe you can carry as much as you want, but you can only use 6 at a time, because in Black and White Alder carries more than 6 because he doesn't know how to use computers. Computers are not a thing yet. Maybe we can have, the Nomad style, and we have the Sacred Six, the true Triforces, Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, and the Lake Spirits. So maybe each Pokemon of the Legends of Sinnoh, maybe each Pokemon can actually, bless your Pokemon in a way, because you will most likely have an adventures rank and doing quests, capturing Pokemon to complete the Pokédex. Complete in a way, I mean, you will create the Pokédex. So maybe you will capture Pokemon to help the people to actually farm the land. Basically you and your Pokemon, that you capture being one. But yeah, I'm actually excited. And now let's go for the damn starters. The starters, yeah, they are foreign starters. We see a place with a flag, that's most likely an embassy. The starters are Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott. And why are those Pokemon specifically? So here's the thing. Rowlet, it's based on an Ainu owl. The Ainu owls, they were symbols of spiritualism, therefore the world of the dead, maybe because, the CGY being a ghost type, and not only because those types of owls in Hawaii, they were extinct, but yeah, it really makes sense, it makes sense, and they are archers. And spoilers for the Pokemon Adventure Sun and Moon manga, skip 30 seconds into the future or something, now, okay. In the manga, we do see, Moon, the girl. She's from Sinnoh. she's a pharmacist, and she had the route in the CGI, and then in the end she meets a character that it's most likely Platinum Berlitz, you know, the dawn of the manga with Empoleon. We see a baby Piplup, so yeah, maybe that's a link. Maybe Moon in the manga, it's, you know, Platinum's younger sister or something. Continuing on, Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil, it's to represent, you know, Typhlosion, the artillery military gunpowder, you know, from the Tokugawa shogunate, and the Oshawott being Samurott, it's, you know, the Ezu Ainu samurai. And their generations, you know, the generations, you know, they make sense because Gen 2 was Gen 2 was remade when Gen 4 was around. Gen 5, it was on the same system as Gen 4, Nintendo DS, and Gen 7 they had, you know, space-time stuff with the Ultra Wormholes, and that's basically kind of the same thing for Sinnoh, you know. Also, Cynthia appeared in Art Gold and Soul Silver for the Sinja Ruins. She appeared in Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 for the Undella Town post-game battle, and she appeared in the Ultra Sun and the Ultra Moon for the battle tree. So Cynthia always appears in the post games of these regions. Also Johto and Sinnoh always, you know, Japan, Sinjo, you know, Unova, NYC, you know, America, they, you know, the wars and the commerce and whatever more with Japan, and Alola, you know, the pilgrimage, the migration from people of Hawaii to the actual Japan, you know, the Pacific pilgrimage. Yeah, they actually have connections. So yeah, I really want to see, and here's the thing, it's only one version. We will not have version exclusives. However, we might have starter exclusives. Your starter helps out to discover new Pokemon, you know. Maybe the CGI, if it still is a ghost type, you know, maybe you can pinpoint the distortion world more easily. Or maybe you have to wait for a Drifloon because, well, there will be no Friday event Drifloon. How will the day-night cycle be? How will the day system be? Maybe you have to capture Drifloon and then drag you into the distortion world or something. But yeah, because there is no Valley Windworks yet. Maybe we can have, for example, the Archer reaching for the tall trees. You know, Typhlosion, you know, hits a Honey Badger. Maybe you can go for the honey trees, and Samurott cutting the cut trees, you know, with the scimitars, and going into hidden grottos like in Black and White 2, you know. Maybe you can discover more Pokemon, how you use your starter appropriately. Yeah, I'm actually hyped for this, and also because Cyndaquil in the Ainu culture they praise porcupines, even though Cyndaquil it's a fire mouse, then it's a honey badger, and then it's an echidna. It's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon, okay? Yeah. Also, for Johto, Unova, and Alola, Johto had the unknown. Unova had Genesect. Alola had Silvally, type full. These Pokemon always had a normal move that can become other type of the same move. Unknown being Hidden Power, Genesect being Technoblast, and Silvally being Multi-Attack. Normal that becomes all types, or at least mostly all types, you know? Because Technoblast, it's because of the drives. But that's Arceus. Also, if the Pokemon from the foreign lands thrive in Sinnoh in a different way, you know, we might have ancient forms, we might have, you know, Sinnohan forms, we can see Ash getting in the CGI that it's not a ghost type, maybe it's still grass flying. You know, we can have variants, guys, we can have variants. We can see, for example, because of the Gunpowder and the Smoke, Ash and Dawn, they can have a Typhlosion that could be Fire Ground or Fire Poison. And Ash's Oshawott, it can become a Water Fighting or a Water Steel Samurott, you know, becoming a Brawler or getting the armor, you know. I'm hyped for this. I'm actually hyped for this, you know. In regards to the location, in the trailer, you do see the trainer doing a dodge roll. That's because the trainer will also have HP. It will be turn based, but you know, kind of like Masters, kind of like Final Fantasy VII. If your Pokemon, you know, if your Pokemon is faster, it can get critical hits like in Gen 1, but it could also attack 2 or 3 times in a row. You know, it will be amazing. That's why this is not competitive. Pokemon can attack you. The weather can attack you. If you get poison, this is the times of old. I want for poison to be like in the times of old as well. Maybe poison will affect you. But yeah, in the trailer you see Dawn, because Iwane retweeted art and he called them Lucas and Dawn. So they are Lucas and Dawn, okay? Just not the Lucas and Dawn that we are familiar with. We see Dawn doing a dodge roll to get a Shinx, and that's the thing. You can capture Pokemon, but if you don't call yours to assist, the Pokemon will attack you eventually. But you can, you know, rough house with the wild Pokemon. You can capture them like how Jesse caught Seviper in AG. Yeah, the spot with the Shinx. The spot with the Shinx, it could be, you know, where we see the bridge in the water. It could be Route 205. Route 205, the Shinx, they are where the Valley Windworks will be in the future, and that hillside will be where the Fuego Ironworks will be in the future. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you can ride on an Arcanine, and it reminds me of the right Pokemon of Alola, and Pikachu and Eevee being partner Pokemon, they could do the partner secret techniques, you know, to fly, to surf, you know, with the balloon and the surfboard. You will do this too with the Pokemon you gather. It will be a mix of ride and partner. You can climb Mount Coronet on the top of your Luxray. I'm hoping for that. But yeah, speaking of Mount Coronet, human events. Mount Coronet, the tunnels, they might not be as we know because they are not all man-made, and we will not have the Sinnoh underground because that was Rourke's grandpa, you know, Byron's dad. He was the guy who did the underground. There will be no Ouroborg mines because, you know, we don't have human interference as of yet, you know. Stones for Pokemon, you know, Shiny, Dawn, Dusk, the mineral industry is not as advanced, so maybe they will be more difficult to find. The ruins of Solacin, they will stay intact because we live in a world without technology. And speaking of not having technology, you know how they had to revamp certain evolutions because they don't have an EM wave spot to get Thunderstone like Vikavolt. If this is a version exclusive, this is a single game, how can trade evolution work? And even trade evolution with items, you know? How can we get them a Champ, an Alakazam, an Electivire, a Magmortar? Will we have to go to Mount Coronet and see a EM wave spot, you know, like this new chamber of Mount Coronet? Basically being a mini Chargestone Cave? Can we transfer Pokemon through time, like with the Seal Capsule in Gen 1 and Gen 2, like in Black and White and Black and White 2? Will we have a shrine, you know, a shrine, and they transfer Pokemon via that shrine like an offering to the gods? Because from Ruby and Sapphire to Aurus, it states they travel to time and space because of the multiverse. And I'm really hopeful, like Porygon Z, you know, Pokemon from the future. Will we have time travel? Rotom will exist because he's a Voltergeist, but will Rotom thrive with the forms because there are no appliances? I really hope that we do see as well Spike-eared Pichu, maybe even the white Pichu, the beta version of the Spike-eared Pichu. Yeah, guys. Again, we have to wait. Also, anime-wise, not saying like in X and Y, time travel Rotom in an elevator, but we can see a time travel arc. If we are going to have a road trip arc in Journeys, I want the time travel arc, you know, with Tokyo and Celebi taking Go and the others back in time, and they can explore the Sinnoh of old, you know, basically like movie 12, but an actual arc instead of being, you know, an actual movie. Yeah. If Go meets Arceus, it will be amazing because he's meeting Mew's dad in some capacity. If they do if Koharu joins the group, which I hope so, I want for Koharu to get a Cherrim because Cherry Blossoms. If they do, let's go Johto. If they do, let's go Johto. Give her a Cleffa to get Clefairy, like how Brock had Beanie to get Chansey, like to get her goal in the end, like Pokemon Archaeologist. Come on, give her a Clefairy. It's Pokemon Pink, you know, Moonstone, whatever. If Dawn returns, I want for Dawn to return and with the new uniform from the traditional times, for her to do a contest appeal round in that said uniform as a plug. And that's the thing. The characters are Lucas and Dawn. Unless those names are placeholders, they are Lucas and Dawn. Maybe this is a sequel. Maybe that's the plot twist. Maybe this is years in the future. They are saying before DP, but Cyrus wanted to create a world without emotion, so maybe he could start this world after the events of DP, but timeline wise it happens before the DP that we know, so it's a sequel but in the past of an alternate universe, you know? Maybe that's a twist. Maybe that's why we see Dawn and Lucas, because that's how Cyrus remembers them. The lack of technology. Maybe technology it's hidden, you know? We have to find technology. Maybe we will have to, you know, that's the twist. Maybe that's the twist, you know, because nature and technology, you know, Gintama, Golden Kamui, Princess Mononoke, this game is very, you know, gibberish in very capacities. Like, this game alone has more lore and story than what Sword and Shield had. And the game is not even out yet, guys. We might have to face Calamity Ganontina for all that we know of. Yeah, that could be the plot twist. It could be a sequel. Like I wanted. Like I wanted, guys. We will not have Pokemarts or Pokecenters, so therefore we will have no healing or no shopping. We'll have to brew our potions and curatives and even Pokeballs, maybe learn from books how Kurt's ancestors did in the times of old with Apricorn Balls, because those are from Gen 2, and maybe because we see Pokemon, you know, with the dreams of Cresselia and Darkrai and the Pokemon from time and space, maybe our blueprints will help the Dream Balls of Gen 5 and the Beast Balls of Gen 7 again, so it gives an idea of progression, you know, it makes society thrive. I wonder, in the trailer we see a narration for the trailer. I'm not saying we are going to have voice acting in this game, but it would be amazing if we have voice acting at least for the cutscenes, you know? At least for the cutscenes. My friend Red Rose, shout out to Red Rose by the way, he said if this game is making the adventure of what actually is to become a Pokemon trainer before trainer being a thing, we will not have tutorials. Yeah, makes sense. There is nothing to teach, you know, so we will not have tutorials in this game. Hopefully. Because, yeah, we will have to raise the starters. Maybe this is where the starter triad of the types started, pun intended. But yeah, the adventure in the Sinnoh of old, it will be like in the first Pokemon opening. Travel across the land, searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. We capture Pokemon to understand them and to help Sinnoh thrive. It kinda helps go in the anime even more, you know, in some way. But yeah, in regards to another topic, city technology. We have roof tiles, we have kerosene lamps, so this game is not as old as this, and there are two things that I want to point out. We do see the Sinnoh of old, only mainland Sinnoh in that one book, but we see two other books. And I believe those two other books are DLCs. One, because we don't have Ranger 3 in 1, so they have to give Manaphy, you know, in the DLC in some capacity to actually see the Pokédex and see all of the mythos and whatever more. And maybe Manaphy in times of old, he's the one that's, you know, it's like Meloetta in the anime. Maybe Manaphy in Unova, you know, took the plates or whatever, you know. Maybe the plates, they were all, like the relics are there in the Abyssal Ruins. Maybe Manaphy took some plates of Arceus there, and therefore it makes the plates not be there since the ruins got sunk, you know. Because some explorers in Black and White, they discover some of the plates, you know. And those are the types of the Steel and Water, you know. And also Dragon, because, you know, those are the plates that Team Galactic in the anime used in Solacian Ruins to summon the Spear Pillar Key. So, yeah, we can have two DLCs. The first DLC being for the West Sea of Sinnoh, for the Iron, Full Moon, and New Moon Islands, to see Lucario, Aura Guardians, and also the Lunar Duo of Cresselia and Darkrai. The second one being the East Sea DLC for the League Island, for the Flower Paradise of Shaman, the Sea Break Path, and for the Battle Zone for us to, see Etran and Stark Mountain. We don't have Sinnoh Underground, but we could have Sinnoh Underwater, use Dive in Sinnoh. If we don't have HMs, right? We can use, maybe one of our Pokemon can dive. Maybe that's how we see a Manaphy egg. Because Manaphy are in warm waters, Fion are in cold waters, and Sinnoh is in a time of change. Maybe Mount Coronet is like, we don't see Mount Coronet, but this is before the beta version of the game. So maybe, but yeah, Mount Coronet, it wasn't always snow, maybe we can see Fion existing without Ditto, because that's the thing, Ditto are not a thing yet, so breeding will be difficult. It will not be the same as we know, because we don't have Ditto to help us out that easily, but yeah, I really want to explore Sinnoh Underwater now. Let us dive, man, let us dive. Also, register the Sinnoh Pokédex. We are going to create the Pokédex. There are some Pokemon that are already there, like for example the Spiritomb, like it's 500 years old, and the new combat system, like I explained before, the trainer will also battle. It's the priority and whatever more. The Pokemon will attack you if you don't summon a Pokemon, and that leads to the whole the Pokemon that don't have abilities in the prequels. In the remakes they do, in the prequels they don't. So if we are creating the first Pokédex, my idea is maybe abilities are there, but they weren't discovered or analyzed yet. They weren't registered yet. It makes the things more immersive. Or maybe abilities in this game, there will be something new or scrapped, like how some moves were in Sword and Shield. Maybe we can, because we are going to see Arceus before multi-type. Maybe something in the game happens and that's how he gets multi-type, because he separates the plates, Maybe we can see Primal Arceus, Ancient Arceus, Singularity Arceus, Cosmic Arceus. We don't know, but he's the god of Pokemon. He deserves respect, okay? Because Eternatus and everyone else with the stats, it broke the game, so I want a Arceus that has 200 in each stat and 1200 overall. But unlike Eternamax Eternatus, not being usable. But I just want for the god to have the goddamn respect that he deserves. Also, we will not have Master Ball, okay? To capture God. We do see, it's Sinnoh, they have flowers, they have Gracidia, and this is in the past. It makes me wonder, are we going to see AZ and Floette? Maybe yes, maybe not. We have to wait, because we know that AZ is a Wanderer and he was in Aura, so we'll wait. Legends, to finish this off, Legends, it hopes a door for new possibilities, because back in the day, we had the 8 year, like from Red Green to Fire Red Leaf Green, it was 8 years. For Soul Silver, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, it was 10. For Ruby and Sapphire to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it was 12. We're expecting from DP to DP remakes to be 14, but the world happened, and we got the DLCs, and now we have this, the Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. But here's the thing. 2004, 2009, 2014, 2021. They go 5, 5, 7 in terms of year intervals. So the next game for Gen 10, the console after the Switch, because the Switch is most likely going in the midlife right now. In 2028 for Gen 10 after the Switch, they can bamboozle us. They will not do sequels. They can do prequels, but actually having the version exclusives. Kyurem had Black and White too, so therefore Kyurem will not have a game. But the original Dragon can. We can have the Kyurem before it's split with the to the other two dragons. We can see the Godstone. We can see, the gray original dragon, Primal Kyurem, or like many people see on DeviantArt, the Vahirom, because the V, RZ, Reshiram Zekrom, the letter in the middle, it's V. Therefore, V, it's Roman, and it's 5 in Roman. Victini, Gen 5, it makes sense, guys. We can see a Legends that focuses on the original dragon, and we can see a Legends that focuses on Zygarde, for 2028, in 7 years, Gen 10, after the console after the Switch. Because, we have Legends Arceus. They can do now 2-in-1, like you can play in the aftermath of the Unova War or the Kalos War, maybe they take place because the Unova War was 2,500, the Kalos War was 3,000, but 3,000 in Unova, it was when the Abyssal Ruins, they sunk. So the original dragon still exists. Maybe you can actually, play a prequel that takes place 3 millennia before Unova and Kalos. And instead of buying a version, if you want to know the lore of both games, you have to buy the both games, therefore they gain the double of the profit. Yeah, also, in the games, the memory link of Black and White 2, Drayden does say to Iris that Pokeballs did not exist in his time. But that's the thing, Drayden is from Unova. Many products of Japan didn't reach Unova, the United States, until several times. Like how many things, like the world wasn't as connected as it is now. And that's the thing about Gen 4. Connection. The world. It was the game, it was the gen that introduced Wi-Fi to the world. It made the world feel more connected. And yeah, I really hope, guys, I really hope that the prequels are a step in the right direction, because if the remakes flop, it's Masuda's fault. And if he wants to do Let's Go Johto, he can do it. They have the entire Game Freak working on prequels, graphics, music, resources, time. The teams will focus on this and this alone, and it will not diminish Sword and Shield, because we did not have 2 worlds, so the VGC still has to include GMAX. Yeah, for the remakes, it will be in November most likely. It will be on a Friday. For the prequels, I have 5 dates. This is the final topic. It's the dates. The dates, because they said early 2022, so it could be the first half of 2022, ending in June. But Fire Emblem Three Houses, it ended in July. Which makes me wonder if we are going to actually have routes, like within the actual Legend Arceus. Like, will our choices matter in the game, Yeah, but those 5, before the fiscal year in Japan ends in March 31st, Legend Arceus for 2022, being on the February 27th, when the games turn, when Red and Green, the franchise, turns 26, March 3rd, when the Switch will turn 5 years, being in the midpoint. Maybe we'll have a Switch Pro or Switch 2 with Breath of the Wild 2, and the games will be released at the same time. Because today, March 3rd, 2021, as I'm recording this, the Switch turns 4, and so does Breath of the Wild. And speaking of 4, these are winter releases. For the spring releases, 4/4, April 4th, because Gen 4, and it's also the birthday of Lucas in the manga, Diamond. Could be April 22, because that was the international release for the US of Diamond and Pearl. So Legends could do that, and it's the only Friday day. So maybe that, or maybe May 7th, because it's when summer traditionally begins in Japan. It gives them 15 months to work to finish this, and it was the day when in 2009 and 2014 they revealed Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and also Auras. So yeah, guys, these were my topics. The names: Platinum, New World, Mechanics, Fandom, Statue, Movies, New Snap, Prequels, Not Feudal Japan, Professor, Pokeball, Starters, Lore, Version Exclusive, Regional Variants, Location, human events, trade evolution, time travel, journeys, sequel plot twist, society, roster limits, city tech, DLCs, dive, no types, legends, town, dates, and also other jokes. 32 topics, 3 subtopics for each, 108 total. We reach Nirvana like Spiritomb with the Doom Souls. Guys, thank you so much for watching this 1 hour theory speculation for Sinnoh secrets and everything more. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. So, without further ado, thank you trainers, and don't forget to capture them all.